The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
I'm always looking for ways to show my cat how much I love her. And with Fancy Feast gems, I can pamper her whenever I want with a savory gravy on top of a gourmet mousse pâté. The pyramid shape makes serving simple, so all I have to do is peel and plate to make mealtime feel extra fancy. And with 2 entrees in every pack, it's easy to turn every day into the extraordinary. Fancy Feast gems.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to YA OK. Today is a special episode. It's just family. Alyssa, how are you?
I'm great because I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about today.
I am too. I'll be honest. It's because you know what? Let's just get into it. It's 20 years of Twilight.
It's
Twilight came out 20 years ago.
Years of Twilight. I'm wearing my Twilight shirt. I have 3 of the Twilight books that are still in my room. And you know what's crazy? I'm 31, so the book came out when I was 11. So I didn't really read them until like the movies were going to come out. And then I burned through the first 3, and then the movies started coming out, and then I stopped reading them. But it's like let me set the stage for the people who were not there.
Yes.
You know, it's like this was a moment that like truly, if you were not there, I'm sad for you. It was like, this was something that was in Hot Topic and in Spencer's. You could buy Twilight merch. This was like the phenomenon of the fucking, like, for like a decade of time. It was everything.
I was like, in my head, I'm like, I think it was probably more than that.
Probably.
But I mean, it could still be, for all we know, it could be 20 years.
Right. Well, okay. So
still be a thing.
So we'll get to that because I want to talk about where Twilight is today. But at the time that this came out, so really when I say like, if you were not there, you don't understand the magic, I mean more like when the movies, and I think the movies started coming out and Breaking Dawn hadn't come out yet. So like that, right? Or was it Eclipse that hadn't come out yet?
No, I think it was Breaking Dawn, because that's something I want to talk about too, is specifically Breaking Dawn. I want a little part where we talk about like prioritize Breaking Dawn, but I'm looking that up right now when the book came out. Yeah.
So this is the first, oh wait, no, this is Eclipse. The first book, Twilight, it's a pretty long book for someone who's like it's like 500 pages. This was the longest book that I had read at that time. And so I remember looking at it and being like, it's really long. I don't know if I could finish this. Like, this is a lot. When did it come out?
So Breaking Dawn came out. The book Breaking Dawn came out August 2008.
Wow.
The first Twilight movie came out November 21st, 2008. So basically the whole series had ended before the first movie even came out, which is a smart way to do it, honestly.
Yeah. So when this came out and was like something that I was going to pick up and read, I remember thinking like, this is really long. I don't think I could read this. And I burned through it. And I also was fully convinced it was the best thing that's ever been written. And since then, during COVID, I tried to reread Twilight with my friends. Like, we were going to make a book club out of it. and we got through chapter 3, and then we were like, I can't do this. Actually, the thing is it a good book? I don't think so.
Here's the deal. It has its issues.
Right.
I read Twilight, and I think I started reading it. I want to say it was in 2007. I heard about it because I didn't read it when it first came out in 2005. So I remember, do you remember the original cover of Twilight? Have you seen that meme of like the original cover?
I don't know, but
because like all of the one with the apple and everything, I think that's a redesign that they did. The original one was very much, or maybe it's just a foreign.
I randomly found
here
plane tickets.
That's the original cover.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
So
horrible.
It's also, look how skinny that arm is.
Yeah,
like that looks like AI before AI was AI.
In my copy of Eclipse, by the way, there are randomly plane tickets in here, old plane tickets, from February.
That's the UK cover. Still.
February 2012. So that's when I read them. That's crazy.
But you had to have plane tickets back then.
Yeah, I had to have a physical ticket.
Phone. You had tickets.
Yeah. Wow. An ancient artifact. That's crazy.
But so like when I read the first book, the second one was already out, and I pretty much finished reading the first book and went to the bookstore and bought the second immediately. I don't think the third was out yet. I think the third came out. Maybe it was.
Were you in?
I have to look up when the third one came out.
Were you in high school when they came out?
I was in college.
Oh, okay.
I was in college, and I was still going to read it because, I mean, in my head, I was like, "Ooh, a vampire romance. That sounds fun.
Sounds great.
I've never read anything like that before." And obviously, there were other vampire romance books. I think maybe it was this specific type of romance where it was just kind of, I don't know. It's silly. I don't think it's. I don't want to say it's a bad book, because it got people reading.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. It was easy to read.
Yes.
I think the first 3 are fun books, and I think people should read them if they are into these kinds of things.
Yeah.
That being said, you also have to kind of realize that this is a teenager that is the voice in this. It is all from Bella's point of view. And so it's silly. It's very dumb.
Yeah, like if as an adult reading it, you just would never respond to any of this the way that Bella Swan does.
And the thing is, I was an adult reading it, and I was still like, oh my God, this is so romantic.
College, you're barely an adult. Frontal lobe is not done. You're not done cooking yet. I wouldn't even go there. But when I reread it,
Eclipse was out, so it came out in 2007.
Wow.
And it was also August 2007. I think because I remember when I read New Moon, I was in LA, and I was doing like internships, and I had one day off a week. It was, I think, Wednesdays. I didn't have to go into any offices, and I would just hang out by my hotel pool in LA reading Twilight. And I don't think they had like said that they were making a movie yet. I remember hearing about the movie and being like, oh, I can't wait. That's a great idea. And then I saw the cast, and I was like, this cast is perfect. Great job, everybody. The wigs are a little but
great job,
everything
everybody.
else, fantastic.
Yeah. Well, so reading the book again in 2020, starting it again in 2020, there are things about it that are just like odd. Like one of the things that stuck out to me, and I think was like sort of my final straw in rereading it, which I would like to revisit rereading it again. But like Bella Swan leaves her hometown in Phoenix, goes to the wettest place in the continental US, famously. She's wearing in the book is going to wear a black raincoat to school the next day. And she literally says, I just really hope I don't stand out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Stephenie Meyer, I'm just feeling like, what? But also Stephenie Meyer paints Bella Swan in like the most. If she wrote Bella Swan now, Stephanie Meyer would have been raked over the coals for creating like the ultimate pick-me girl of like,
Yeah.
I'm not like everyone else. I'm ugly. She's gorgeous. Ugly, but he loves me anyway. It's like, okay, sure.
And the thing is, I feel like that was very much like a thing back then with kids where it's like,
Totally.
oh, the only people reading books are ugly people. So let's make all the characters ugly. That way the readers will feel loved. And it's like,
Because all of
I
us
think
uggos were the only ones
Yeah.
sitting in our house.
just sitting by a pool reading Twilight.
Right.
Right. But I think it's just, it was, I don't know. It is a book of its time. It is a product of its time. Let's leave it at that for the writing specifically, because
Yeah.
there's also a lot of stuff that now you look on it and you're like, oh, this is very like trad wife kind of stuff. Where, because I mean, Stephanie Meyer is a Mormon,
Right.
and the book is very tame. I think do they even kiss until the end of the first book because he's like worried about
Yeah.
killing her when he's going to kiss her.
Yeah.
And I think that was always one of the reasons why you wanted to read it too, is because it's like he's the bad boy, even though he's not. It's like, oh, he has the potential to kill me at any moment, but he really doesn't want to.
But he loves me.
He loves me.
He loves me. Yeah. There's a lot about it that's like you know, the tropes are like just
Problematic romance can be fun,
yeah,
honestly.
it's just,
screw it.
you know,
Let's just say it.
That's exactly what it is. Like, again,
Stop making excuses for Twilight. Let it just be problematic and fun.
it is. It's problematic and fun. You're so right.
It's problematic in a way that doesn't destroy anybody's life.
Yeah.
But because, like, if you try to live your life like Bella and Edward, you're going to be a loser. You're going to be boring.
You're going to be a loser. And also, like, the story really only works because Edward is, whatever, hundreds of years old. And which
we'll also get to when we talk about my issues with fucking Breaking Dawn.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Because that is like...
Okay, so wait.
Here's the deal. How far do we get into this episode when I really unleash and I stop being nice? Should we give it like 10 more minutes?
So let's talk like exclusively about the Twilight story first. Like Twilight, the very first one. And so like just going through the basic timeline of the story, Bella Swan's mom and dad are divorced. So it's Charlie and her mom, whose name I don't know if we ever get her mom.
She's not important. All we care about is Charlie.
Yeah, her mom, kind of a bitch. Excuse me. We love Charlie. Getting older is knowing that Charlie was hot. Charlie is
very
hot. Hot dad.
Charlie's hot dad.
Hot dad.
You know?
Arguably
Absolutely.
hotter than Edward Cullen. Like now when I watch the movie.
Not even arguably. Absolutely a fact now.
So, okay. So she leaves Phoenix, Arizona because her mom is going to go travel with her new husband, who's a baseball player. What an odd storyline.
So the mom's a pick-me girl too.
Mom is also a pick-me. So they go, she moves to Forks, sees Charlie, where it's just like her dad, where it's just like painfully awkward. The both of them are it's like they don't know each other at all. Like they met each other that day and it's really awkward. I also, if I'm being honest, I am going to blend the story and the movie versions together because at this point I cannot tell the difference between the two.
I can't remember the difference.
I can't remember. And the movies are ingrained into my DNA. Like that it is like the second that it's like the first chilly gray, rainy day of the year, I'm like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, everyone lock in. It's Twilight season.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday
for me.
Yesterday. It's like my comfort movie. I watch it all the time. Like I purchased the movie digitally so that I could watch it at my leisure because I do. I just do. So anyway, Bella Swan moves. She goes to the school. Apparently they don't ever get new students because they're going to write a paper about her and it's like a whole thing. And then she learns about the Cullen family. Yeah, that whole bag of beans. She learns about the Cullen family. And the Cullen family are all adopted. They all are dating except for Edward. Can we also take a moment for how insane Jasper is as a character? Can we discuss Jasper as a character, the Confederate
You mean
soldier?
the kid that fought for the Confederacy?
The Confederate soldier who, for a mere...
Jasper owned slaves. Jasper owned slaves and wanted to.
And wanted to. And wanted to. And for a mere 15 minutes of the entire series, which is many hours long, had a Southern accent. The rest of it, no. Normal.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah. When he tells the story.
Was it like the first movie?
No, it's not. It's way later when he tells his backstory to Bella and he explains that he was a Confederate soldier. When he's telling the story, he like randomly has a Southern accent.
I feel like we could have cut that part for the movies, but...
Yeah. That feels like... I actually... In all of the backstories that I wanted to have, Jasper... Actually, do we get Rosalie or Emmett or Alice's backstory? I don't remember any of theirs. Why was the one that stayed Jasper's Confederate soldier story?
I don't remember that. What wasn't... I know with Edward, did he have Spanish flu?
He had the Spanish flu.
Okay.
And then Carlisle was his doctor.
So he's under 100 then, right?
I think it was 1920.
He's like 90 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like 90s. He's in his 90s when he meets Bella.
I guess.
A 16-year-old girl.
Right.
15, but she doesn't drive until New Moon, which is a very important plot point.
Wait. She's 15 when she meets him?
No, wait, she drives to
She drives to school because she gets the car.
School, so she's 16.
She's
yes,
16.
because she has that truck, which is, I think, the same truck that my husband owns, by the way.
Really?
I think. Was it a Ford or was it a Chevy?
I don't remember. Can't recall. So now this romance with Edward begins. They're flirting. Oh, okay. So in the beginning of them getting to know each other, we have a scene of the movie. I'm sure it's also in the book. The lab scene of the movie, which is iconic and memed over and over again because it's Edward.
Walks right into the room and just immediately, oh God, this girl smells. The thing is, I didn't even notice that until the memes. I've probably seen that movie like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And I never even noticed that she walks in front of a fan and the wind gets blown in him and he goes...
Yeah. And he's literally... his hand is in like a claw because he cannot, and he's like moving things over the desk like that. Oh my God. It's so dramatic. And when you hear Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson talk about acting in this movie, like they fully know that this is like ridiculous. And I believe the interpretation is that Stephenie Meyer was like very much on set and telling them this is how she wanted it to be and this is like the way. So I think that like in the moments like that where because I also feel bad for both of them, but more so Kristen Stewart. Everyone thought she was like an awful actor.
I was one of those people.
Me too.
Now I'm a Kristen Stewart apologist. I think she's a fantastic actress.
She's one of my celebrity crushes. Like, she's in my like top 2 celebrity crushes. When she got engaged, I fell to my knees. I was like, I love her. I think she's actually a great actress. She also has been acting since she was a child. Like, she's at that point, she was already a well-seasoned actor. So like, it's funny that, it was very clearly the direction, I think, but.
I want to know if the two of them ever realized in their heads, they're like, listen, this might be the thing that we are probably going to be like most known for, but we know it's not going to be the defining thing, the defining movie of our careers. It's like being known for something and something like defining your career.
Yeah.
I think that I'm wondering if they knew it was not the defining thing because I mean, Robert Pattinson was in a Harry Potter movie before, and he was introduced and then killed in it. And then she did like Panic Room. She did, I think, a couple horror movies. She did the other YA book, Speak. She was in that movie. She was the lead in that one.
She also did some other young adult type movies. Like, was she in Harriet the Spy? Like something along in that like category. It wasn't
but like, I feel like they kind of showed up to set and be like, listen, this is our moneymaker now. This is what we're going to retire off of. And from now on, we don't have to do shit. You know what? I bet you they did, because Robert Pattinson was in a Harry Potter movie, probably talked to Daniel Radcliffe about this. And Daniel Radcliffe had said, hey, Bob, you and me are friends now, since we got to hang out in all these scenes and Goblet of Fire. So I'm going to let you in on a secret. Don't worry about it. This isn't going to define your life. So they just had fun. I
don't think that they knew how, like, anyone could have known how big it was going to be. There's no way. Because, like, even the books were really successful, but you're taking a book that's like, well, I guess you're in the wake of Harry Potter stuff, because and Lord of the Rings too. Like, that was much closer in timeline than we are to that now. Because I was thinking originally, like, sometimes when you're making a book into a movie and it's like crossing a little bit of like a sci-fi genre, it's hit or miss whether people are going to like it, and if it's going to look the way that people imagined it would, because you're dealing with like this whole vampire universe, and I think people like really strongly, like, you have to use your imagination so much for it, so people get like very tied maybe to what the story. So anyway, I think that it was not like 100% that this was going to be the moneymaker, but I think once the first movie came out, there's no way they didn't know. There's no way.
No, I think Anna Kendrick was on a podcast at one point talking about it, because she had that minor role. She was in all 4 movies.
Yeah, she's a fucking bitch in the movie.
4 out of 5 movies.
She's awful.
She was.
Her character.
I think she is like one of my favorite parts of the movie, because like it seems like she showed up, was just a sassy bitch, and that's it.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, cool, I'm going to go home. And she like talks about how she would hang out with them and everything. And she says between the first one and the second, it was like completely changed, because it became a phenomenon, and all of a sudden they couldn't go out anymore together. Yeah. And so like they were going out together, but now it's like the main cast had to like stay away, because they were like, oh no, we don't want to like get you guys swamped with fans who are following all of us around, or even paparazzi.
Wow.
And I think she even was saying that she filmed her last scene in Breaking Dawn, and it was like I think she was like filming it like before she had basically gotten nominated for an Oscar, or like after she had gotten nominated for an Oscar, she was still contracted to do this. And she was like, I don't care, I'll do it, because who knows if I will have another job. It doesn't matter that I got nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, I'll come back for 15 minutes and film this one scene. Why not? But she was like, none of them, when they were making the first one, realized that it would become a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Despite how popular the books were.
Yes. So we actually have not touched on a very important character in this series, Jacob. Because Jacob has one of the funkiest stories I've ever heard for many reasons. I don't even know where to begin. He's pine.
Were you, let's start with this. Were you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Edward. I was here for the toxic storyline. I was very Team Edward.
Like, I think I was Team Edward for Bella, but I wanted Jacob. If that makes sense.
That's fair.
Like, as adult Jacob and adult Erik, by the way, because I am only like 20 years old at this point. Yeah. It's not as creepy as it is as a 38-year-old saying that.
Yes. Jacob, played by Taylor Lautner, whose wife is also Taylor Lautner, by the way.
So weird.
Taylor Lautner, I think, was like 16 filming that movie.
Yeah.
He was really young. But he has like one of the worst wigs I've ever seen. Like the most low budget, like what
I'm telling you,
purchased at
all
Spirit
the wigs
Halloween.
in the first movie are terrible.
So bad. But I will say that I didn't realize, Kristen Stewart's hair was either wigs or like hair extensions, because the year that movie came out, the way that I lived on a headband and a barrel curl, because I was like, and I am her, and it was like I was like down to be pale. I was sold on the Bella Swan aesthetic in a way that was really mortifying for me now. Jacob is part of a local Native American community. He lives on the reserve. I can't remember what.
He was a Quaalude, I think.
Okay.
Wait.
I
don't know how to.
Yes, it's
Quaalude?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
It begins with a Q. It's not Quaalude like a pill, but I think it's something similar.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's part of an indigenous community and lives on the reserve.
I think.
Yeah. And he his like family thing is, instead of being vampires, they turn into werewolves. Reflecting on this, I don't feel good about that. I'm not going to lie.
I feel like the amount of research I just did on my phone to find out what tribe Jacob was a part of is more than Stephanie Meyer did in her entire all the research.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think that, again, listen, this just serves to show how far we have come in 20 years.
Yeah.
With the way that people think.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing. This
is a story for many, many reasons could not exist today. Like if it came out today, it would not do what it did back then. Because there's some stuff.
I think it could come out today, and I think that it could be a lot better with changes that reflect the societal norms of now.
Right, yeah.
Because
right.
I still think, like, even though this was made in like 2008, it feels older because for so much of the early 2000s, we were still kind of stuck in that 90s, 80s mentality, because the 80s had the video boom, and all of a sudden that's what our culture was focused on, was movies and television and pop culture. And then now it's more shifted to people who are online. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it would just change for, you know what? I think the way you could figure out how it's going to be is if they want to ever reboot it. I'm sure they will soon. It's been 20 years. They're already doing it with the Harry Potter stuff, so they're probably going to do this next.
I really hope they don't. I hope that they don't. Leave it. Leave it. It's a beautiful little time capsule, and it's perfect. And part of the reason why people love it is because parts of it are fucking insane. Like the lab scene when he's like holding his mouth. Part of the reason why people love Twilight so much is it's so memeable and it's so crazy to watch sometimes.
Oh, I forgot their contacts are crazy too.
Yes, they're their eyes changed based on if they're hungry or not. One of the other scenes that I'm remembering is the scene when Edward and Bella follow each other out into the forest, and this is when you find out that this is when the say it out loud.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
Yeah, and he's just sparkling. He's just glittering. Yeah.
This is the skin of a killer. That's how I would do it, honestly. I would just be like, no, you don't understand.
Oh my God.
Look how glistening this flesh is.
Oh my God.
Diamonds.
Dewy. He used a setting spray. He looks gorgeous. But he also, there's a part where they're standing below this the base of a very mossy giant tree, and doing this almost choreographed dance back and forth. And it's right before the conversation that ends in, so the lion fell in love with the lamb, which if you didn't make your aim away message, so the lion fell in love with the lamb,
we are still around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, then we were not the same gen. And also, I don't think Instagram was really a thing yet. It might have just started to because even Instagram came out whatever year, but people weren't really using it until whatever, maybe a year later or something. But the conversation that leads into that is when I watch it now, I'm like, this is so it's so unnatural. It's he's telling her I'm fast. Everything about me is designed to draw you in, blah, blah. And then she goes, I'm afraid. And then he like backs off and he's like, good. And then she's like, I'm afraid of losing you. I feel like you're going to disappear. And it's just like so corny.
So this is the adult in the relationship. This man is 90 some years old. He should be like, as soon as she shows up, I feel like he should have gone to his vampire family and been like, y'all, we need to get the fuck out of Forks. There's some girl that smells like cake and puppies and I can't deal with it. Like, does everybody else smell that?
Yeah.
Because I think the whole family smells her, right? Like, she just smells good to vampires specifically, which I think they establish in Breaking Dawn is because it's supposed to, like, anybody who has, like, because Bella, obviously. And, we didn't talk about how the Cullens all have magic powers.
Yes.
Vampires don't have magic powers, but the Cullens do. So Edward can read minds, but not Bella's.
Yes.
Because that's where we draw the line on privacy for women. It's not romantic if a dude can read your thoughts.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yes. Ethically.
Alice can see the future.
Right.
What Rosalie is just a bitch, I think. Is that her power? Just a girl boss. She was a tech startup.
Does she girl boss tech
back
startup?
in the day?
What was Rosalie's power? That's so funny. She's just a bitch.
I mean, they all have power, right?
Let's see.
Is it just Alice and Edward?
Oh.
Jasper's a racist, slave owner.
Wait, you're gonna die. Rosalie's power is her enhanced beauty.
Oh, that's right.
Literally? Like,
because they will not shut up about how beautiful she is.
Yeah.
And then she has that shitty fucking wig in the movie.
Horrible wig. Jasper.
Or maybe it's just the way they did her hair. I don't know, but I think it's probably extensions.
No, hers is a wig because you could tell by the front of it's horrible. Jasper, pathokinesis, the ability to sense and manipulate the emotions of others. I vaguely remember that. I think.
Oh God, they gave the racist that one. Jesus.
Right. And then Emmett is just very strong.
Darker.
Yeah.
That's right. Emmett's the super, but like they're all super strong.
Yeah.
But I think in the movies they kind of gave that to everybody. But because like I remember in the book, I think it's Emmett who like rips off the dude's head. The other guy with the really bad wig from Easy A. That's the thing that I recognize him from. It's just Easy A. I'm like, that's the one that Phoebe gave STD to in Easy A. Got it.
Oh God, I missed the early 2000s so much. Oh, it hurts.
Great movies.
Yeah, great movies.
So let's move on to New Moon because that one I feel like was emotionally devastating. Everybody.
And I think that everyone was scarred by there's a possibility. And then just like the cameras.
Great way to show that in the movie.
Great way
Because in the book I was just like, because like it just shows you like November, December, January, February, March. And then it's like you jump forward.
Yes.
See, this is when the movies did get progressively better. Until the last two, I will say. But even then, when we get to Breaking Dawn, I want to talk about the movie specifically.
Yeah.
But with New Moon,
New Moon, not that much really happens aside from Edward is gone.
The book is so boring.
The book is boring. I think the movie is kind of boring. It's just not.
The movie was better, though.
It was better.
At least they like kind of shortened everything.
Right.
Because isn't there so much more and it's not her trying to commit suicide. It's her trying to like just be an adrenaline junkie the whole time. Like she the reason she and Jacob start to have a thing is because she starts fixing a motorcycle with him.
This is Twilight and this is New Moon. How the fuck are they like the same
length? It looks like New Moon's just a little bit longer, maybe like 20 pages longer.
That's crazy because like so much happens in Twilight and New Moon is like literally a story of Edward not being there and her trying to like be an adrenaline junkie so he comes back. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then she goes to Italy. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was the end of New Moon.
The end of New Moon.
Fun part because they introduce the Volturi who are the vampire aristocrats. Basically, they decide what happens with all of the vampires. I forget, is it Alice has a vision of Bella jumping off a cliff and then goes to tell him that she had committed suicide, which makes him go
yeah.
to Italy
Yeah.
to stand out in the sunlight during this vampire carnival that this small town has, where they apparently know the Volturi are living there, but they don't. It's like a part of their folklore.
Yeah.
And they have this ceremony that just happens to be like celebrating the Volturi, even though, which in the movie, that scene was really cool looking, like
lit.
the way they shot it
It's
and everything.
Awesome. Yeah,
But
you're right. The movie.
his whole thing is like they go there. She goes to get Alice because I think Alice all of a sudden realized, oh, Bella is still alive. I have to go stop this from happening, and then they have to catch up to him.
Yes.
And stop him, but it's too late. And I
think
that they want to kill them anyway.
They take a flight, which is really funny. Like something about that is really funny because, like, of all the things that these vampires are capable of doing, they still have to go through TSA. Hilarious.
Did they do it like was it like American Airlines?
Yeah,
flight?
right. They were like, do they have JetBlue miles? Like, do you think that they used miles to purchase their trip?
It means they can't ever sit in an exit row because you have to have the windows open during the exit row if you're going to sit there during takeoff and landing, which means that Alice would just be all glittery.
You're so right.
I mean, I feel like you could just be like, oh no, it's just body glitter.
Yeah, that's
the way you could do it. But back in like 2008, body glitter was not a thing.
Yeah,
body glitter was for prostitutes and go-go dancers.
I disagree. I think Claire's. If you think about like having a Claire's moment. The store, but not as an adult.
There was no Hot Topic Twilight body glitter, that's a missed opportunity.
There definitely was. There had to have been. I don't remember, but there had to have been. You know what? You're right. The movies got way better very quickly. Like New Moon was really, the end of New Moon specifically was really good. And I think like, given that the story itself is kind of boring, they did the best they could.
It was at least entertaining.
Least entertaining. Yeah. That's a better way to put it. Least entertaining because
I will say the Eclipse movie is the masterpiece of all of the Twilight movies.
Okay, wait.
I think Eclipse is the best movie because the director who directed that is actually a great director. Mm-hmm. They directed a lot of episodes of Hannibal. They did the movie Dark Harvest, which I told you to read for spooky season.
I read that. I read that last year.
30 Days of Night, another great vampire movie. His name is David Slade. I think he also wrote the one with Hard Candy, I think it's called, with Elliot Page and Patrick Wilson, which is a disturbing thriller.
Nightmare Cinema. Wow, he does a lot of horror.
Yeah, which I feel like worked out for this one because it leans into the action and the horror. Because I think like the first scene is that kid getting turned by the ex-girlfriend of the Easy A dude because she's building a vampire army in Seattle to kill Bella.
Yes.
Well, to distract Cullen so she can kill Bella.
Yes. Also, David Slade also directed a System of a Down music video.
Ooh, which one?
Aerials, which apparently is like a really weird one. So interesting.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
Here it is, guys. Welcome to my hometown's video store.
Sweet, I didn't even know these still existed.
Well, they haven't had a new release since like 2004, but it's still standing. Why don't you guys look around, rent something? It's on me.
Okay, I'm done.
What?
I got the best of 1987, RoboCop, Lethal Weapon, and Predator.
Predator's good, but Predator 2 is better.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, all those old action films, the sequels are better. RoboCop 2, Predator 2, Highlander 2.
Can't argue with Highlander 2.
Do they have any anime?
Yep, if you look, it's right over there.
That's like 5 tapes.
Yeah, welcome to the Midwest.
Steve, what are you renting?
I'll probably rent some bad sci-fi. Maybe something with Will Smith.
Nice. Get some Tim Burton Planet of the Apes while you're at it.
Isn't that the one where you wanted to bang the girl monkey?
Welcome to Analog Jones in the Temple of Film. I'm Steve.
I'm Chris.
I'm Brad.
We are a VHS podcast that breaks down the box art, trailers, and behind the scenes. Do you miss the old days before the internet when you only talked about the films you watched with your friends? We watch these old tapes and look for cool trailers, bizarre promos, and break them down for your entertainment.
If you like sweaty action movies, crappy sci-fi, or schlocky horror films and hate reading, listen to Analog Jones.
Sometimes we even do research and get our facts right on these old movies.
Even if we don't, it's on the internet. It's facts now.
So search for Analog Jones and find us at anything that plays podcast.
Eclipse? Oh, yes. Okay, so for some reason, I forget like which part of the story are in which parts of the book. Like I forget where New Moon and Eclipse end and start. Are they engaged at the end of New Moon?
No.
Okay.
I think
Maybe that's Eclipse that they get engaged.
I think Eclipse is that one because I think Eclipse is the one when they go to prom at the end of Eclipse.
They go to prom at the
And I think that's when they have that little dancing scene.
No, that's in Twilight. That's the first one where her leg is all she's in the boot. That was one of the worst outfits I've ever seen. Very early 2000s, but why is she wearing a cropped legging with her prom
When
dress?
they're in the gazebo, that was the
Yeah, that's Twilight. That's the very first one. And he dips her down and gets very close to her neck. Oh, oof, I love it. You know what? Even at 31, that was hot. Okay, Eclipse. What else happens in Eclipse? Oh, this is when they're on the snowy mountain.
Eclipse is when they're in the meadow, and I think he asks her to marry him.
Yes.
And I think the movie like ends without her answering or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't.
I think you're right. I'm trying to remember like what else happened in Eclipse. Eclipse is the battle.
The big thing is the battle.
Yeah.
Like, because I think Charlie is getting involved in all of the disappearances that are happening in Seattle, which I don't know why they're going to some small town sheriff to ask about it. Maybe I think the kid might have come from Forks. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
But somehow along the way, Alice has a vision that it's, I want to say Victoria.
Yeah.
her name?
Yeah, it is Victoria.
Who has been recast as Bryce Dallas Howard
Yes.
in the third movie.
I was upset that she got recast only because
so many people.
Yeah, it just felt like they looked really similar. The acting job was great, but I was like, it just to have someone recast in the middle of the series is so upsetting.
And just because you didn't like the way the first girl acted, it's like I've
she
seen
was
her in other stuff.
fine.
She's a good actress.
I thought she was fine. There had to be something else. But okay, so Victoria's creating an army of newborn vampires.
Oh, and the Cullens and the werewolves have to team up and they fight together.
They make an alliance. Yeah. So then, and then while I think Edward had proposed to Bella, and I don't think she answered right away, presumably because she's like 18, like she's freshly born. And then while all of the like battles and stuff are happening, that's when she's like, I love this man. And she accepts the proposal at the end. And also that's when she decides, I will be a vampire at some point in time because I want to spend forever with you.
And the thing is, there's that scene because like Victoria attacks when all of a sudden there's some random snowstorm and Bella, Edward, and Jacob they're using Jacob to mask her scent.
His body.
So that Victoria can't track them. And because of the snowstorm, she has to cuddle with Jacob to stay warm.
Yes.
Honestly, I kind of feel like that's when you go, oh shit, I can't have a life with this vampire. What's he gonna do? I know you're not gonna be stuck in a snowstorm all the time, but this man is dead.
The
you either have to be dead too.
The practicality of it is a little tough, but the scene of Bella being like freezing on the verge of being like hypothermic, they have Jacob get into a sleeping bag with her, like as close to naked as possible because it helps to transfer the body heat quicker.
Yeah, we all saw Voyage of the Mimi, right? When Ben Affleck had to cuddle naked with his grandfather to keep him from dying of hypothermia.
I did not see that, but that was like...
Check it out. It's on YouTube.
Okay. But that scene was like, this is like one step further.
It's the most pornographic a Mormon could get.
Yeah, exactly. One step further and it would have been porn. It was like, it was like so.
Oh my God, it was soaking. That's why she put it in there. Stephanie Meyer invented soaking.
She invented soaking. I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it. Yeah, that was like
but Jacob was not going to jump hump.
No, he was not. He was not going to jump hump. He was going to try and be respectful, mostly because Edward would have torn his fucking head off if he tried. But, but that was like, it's like a cuckolding situation because like Jacob is in the sleeping bag and Edward's just like watching them. It's hilarious. Yeah. And Jacob's like making faces at Edward to be like, fuck you. It's so funny and so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, so Eclipse, big battle scenes. Victoria eventually is Rip at the end. And then Bella accepts the proposal. So then Breaking Dawn. Now this is your time to shine, Erik. You've been waiting for Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn starts with the wedding.
Here's the deal. I loved the Twilight books. When I was reading them, I was like, these are great. Mm-hmm. Like I knew it wasn't high literature. I knew it wasn't gonna win awards, but in my mind, I was like, these are fun books. I like them. I think as a story, they're well written. Good job. And then you get to Breaking Dawn, which for me, I genuinely believe Breaking Dawn breaks whatever spell the first 3 books put over you.
Okay.
Because it is so bad. Not only is it almost 1,000 pages, it is so bad. So bad. It is awful. It is very obvious that at this point, the publishers know we got a moneymaker on our hands. Doesn't matter what the story is, send it out.
Yeah.
Because
especially knowing it was going to be the last one. They were like, you could put whatever in here. It doesn't matter. People are
do
going to
whatever
buy
you
it.
want. Because It makes no sense. It makes zero sense because you have this whole. It's so dumb, there's so much to focus on that's dumb.
Yeah.
But I think one of the dumbest things is they split the last movies into two movies, which you did not need because so much of the books is not needed. It's all stupid.
Yeah.
But the thing that is like, I'm like 500 pages into this book. I think it's 800 and some odd pages. I'm 500 pages into it, and I'm not enjoying it. It's weird. There's some baby stuff that's awkward.
Yeah.
But then you get to, you know what? I guess we have to talk about the whole thing. So Bella and Edward have sex on their honeymoons, and he breaks a fucking headboard. But it's not a romantic breaking a headboard where they like pounded it out and got all of their aggression out because they're Mormons and have never kissed anybody else before.
Yes.
It's because he cannot have sex with her without killing her.
Yes.
Because I guess vampires just are like rabbits
fucking,
the way they boon.
Yeah.
And so he has to like hold himself back to make love to this human.
Yuck.
And she gets knocked up, which has never happened before in the history of vampires, so far as they know.
Yes.
And
that poor house cleaning woman or housekeeping.
My God. The vampire baby also starts to eat her from within, and there's this horrific birth scene where her back breaks and
she's so skinny and scary looking.
Edward has to rip open her placenta with his teeth because it's a vampire placenta, so it's like steel basically, and she can't give birth to this baby, so he has to rip it out with his teeth. And meanwhile, the whole time Jacob is thinking, this baby is killing her, I have to kill this baby. Goes to kill the baby when it is born and then imprints on the baby, which werewolves imprint and mate for life. And now he's supposed to mate with a baby. So we're keeping the whole jailbait thing going, I guess, as a theme. And then we also learn this miraculous new detail where werewolves can stop themselves from aging whenever they want.
Right.
So it runs in families that they imprint on underage children. And 40-year-old men will stop aging until probably they become 18, and then all of a sudden they'll start doing it again. I don't know. That they don't explain that part. And then he's like imprinting, so now all of a sudden, and the reason that he was so in love with Bella was because he was in love with the egg that Edward implanted his semen in. And it's like, so wait, was Jacob also bisexual and kind of into Edward? So would he have imprinted, like, if Edward was a vampire woman? And also, if vampires, if sperm can still create a baby with a human egg, why is it just the vampire women have all dead eggs, but vampire men have live sperm? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
It's stupid. It's misogynistic.
Yeah.
And it gets worse. Somehow it still gets worse. So they have this kid who's getting older miraculously very quick. And Jacob's like, yes, thank God. I don't have to wait that long. And this fucking toddler is running around with her new powers too, because I think she can fly or some shit, because she's half vampire, half human. And another of the Cullens family members decides to show up to visit out of nowhere uninvited and sees this vampire. But it turns out that it is a faux pas for vampires to turn children into vampires. And so they think that this baby human hybrid is a vampire, and they go and tell the Volturi, and the Volturi are going to come kill them. So then the Cullens have to go and get all of their friends to convince them to stand up against the Volturi, and they lead up to this huge battle in which Alice walks forward and tells them, you're going to die because I had a vision. Yes. And then everybody goes away and leaves. That's how the fucking book ends.
That's how the book ends.
There's no battle. Okay. There's nothing.
And it's
so stupid.
But there's a fake battle, which is important.
There isn't in the book.
Oh, there isn't?
Which, that is why I, to this day, believe Breaking Dawn Part 2 is one of the best in the series and was one of the single greatest movie-going experiences in a theater I have ever experienced.
Agreed.
Because it's basically like Jurassic Park, Breaking Dawn Part 2 for me. Because it's like Jurassic Park felt magic. Breaking Dawn made me feel alive again.
Yeah.
Because... So in the book, and the reason it's so annoying and why it broke the spell, I was ready. I was like, listen, if there is a world-ending battle that's like on par with, I hate to keep bringing up Harry Potter, but it's like that was the only thing before it. So it's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And something that's on par with the Battle of Hogwarts, but with Breaking Dawn, I was like, this is going to be a good finale.
Yeah.
And for them to just... Because in the book, it's all told from Bella's perspective. So all she sees is Alice go up and hold out her hand to the Volturi. They touch it, and then they go, our bed.
Yeah, that's horrible.
On you go.
I would have been
have a good life.
Furious.
See you around, and then they leave.
I would be furious if I read.
I was so angry.
Pages.
I almost ripped the book in half. I had to like lend it to my friend, but that's the only reason I didn't, because I needed somebody else to hate talk about it with. Because she read it and had the exact same thought. But going into the second movie, I knew that they could not do that. You can't do that.
Yeah,
if you're making 5 movies, and this is a summer, no, it was actually a Thanksgiving, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a big movie. It's a big event movie. You can't just have everybody show up, have a conversation, and leave. You can't tell everybody there's going to be an epic battle just like there was in Eclipse and it not exist. So picture it. It's a 10 a.m. matinee on a Sunday, opening weekend. My boyfriend and I are there. He had never read the books. He has no idea what's coming. I know they cannot possibly have the same ending. And so I'm sitting there waiting. And as soon as the movie is like, when they get up to this big scene, Carlisle is the one who walks forward. And then the Volturi rips his fucking head off.
Yeah.
And
the
theater goes nuts.
Freaks the
It was pandemonium.
Out. No, wait, but didn't that happen at the...
Girls
was that at the,
were screaming.
I thought it was at the end of the first one that happened.
No,
and that was like the cliffhanger.
Because the end of the first one is when she gives birth.
Oh,
and then she opens up her eyes and she has the red eyes of a vampire.
Yes, okay. And then,
which also goes on to nothing because she has no thirst for human blood. She doesn't care. That's her power. She doesn't give a shit. So basically all the shit that like every other vampire has to go through, she didn't have to.
Also, that makes sense for Bella Swan because she's like the most like nonchalant.
She's not like other vampires.
Yeah, and she's like the most like nothing burger of a character ever. Like there really truly
is
she's not nothing special kind of about her.
Issue with becoming a vampire.
Yeah, so she's gonna have like the nothing burger vampire skill, which is nothing, which is literally the vampire power of nothing.
Yeah,
so
good job.
Good job. Yes. Okay. So Carlisle's head gets ripped off. Everyone in the theater is screaming. Everyone's screaming. I was crying.
I was screaming, crying,
furious.
I'm giggling with excitement because I'm like, oh my God. I mean, in my head, I was like, I know how the book ended. So this is obviously Alice's vision, but these kids probably are having panic attacks now. They don't realize that's the only way you can tell this story in a visual medium. That's how adaptations are. You have to change it from the book a little bit.
Sure.
And so I'm just giggling. The girl, like 3 seats down from me, is literally screaming, what's happening? This isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Awesome.
I loved it. I smiled the rest of the fucking stupid movie and it made it so much worth it. I was like, you know what? The first part 1 was garbage. I hated it. But this made it all worth it. And I think because of that movie, I will say the book Breaking Dawn broke the spell for Twilight for me. I no longer liked it. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's garbage. I hate it. The movie Breaking Dawn Part 2 gave me a
reinstated
little
it.
bit of that spell back. And I was like, you know what? It's not total shit.
So I read the first 3. I didn't end up reading Breaking Dawn because the movies were coming out at that point. And at that point,
Don't
I was
bother.
like, I'm not reading an 800-page
It's
book.
so bad.
When the movie is coming out, I was like, that is where I have to draw a line. So I was like, I'll just skip it. I'll watch the movie, like whatever. I read the other 3. I'm so glad I didn't read that. I'm so glad I didn't read that.
I was so angry. And the other thing is Breaking Dawn actually has like huge chunks of the book where it's from Jacob's point of view, and she had never done that before. Which I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they're doing this for a specific reason. I think it was just so people didn't think it was weird that he imprinted on a baby, and I fucking did.
That's 100% the reason. That's 100% the reason. Also, I
still think that's like insane.
It is insane.
That happened.
It's fucking gross. And also, like, honestly, only a Mormon could have come up with that storyline. Sorry. Also, we brushed over the fact that the daughter's name is Renesmee.
Renesmee.
That's
the mom's first name, Renee. That's
Renee.
why.
Yes, Renee and Esme. Renesmee. One of my favorite like memes for Twilight is when people just call the daughter like random things. Like they'll call her Resume. I think that's so funny. But like,
and
Renesmee.
Wasn't it a CG baby too when it was born? The ugliest fucking CG ever.
Okay, so they had I think a robot version of the baby when they filmed it, and they thought that was creepy, so they put an overlay of a CGI baby on its face. So much worse. So much worse. So much worse.
And Rosalie all of a sudden becomes not a bitch anymore. Her superpower is just having maternal instincts, because she was the only one that was on Bella's side the whole time.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So basically, we learned that Rosalie is pro-life. Yes.
She's actually just
she's the only one of the Cullens that is like, no, we have to bring this baby to term. Everyone else is like, we should abort this kid that's like killing her.
Yeah, they're like, she's killing her. And then Rosalie is the only one who's fiercely pro-life, and she's like, this is a baby. You have to keep it. This is a life. We never get to have this. And freaks the fuck out and forces Bella to keep the... Also, a detail of Breaking Dawn that I think is interesting is that Bella's family doesn't know that she's a vampire and doesn't know that any of the Cullens are vampires. So she is pregnant and actively dying, and they have to keep Charlie away from her for a year. And then,
I think it's an accelerated birth, though.
It is accelerated.
I think she was only pregnant for a month.
Yeah. It is accelerated.
But when she has the baby, they have to keep him away. They're thinking, oh, we have to keep him away until she no longer thirsts for human blood, which is 10 seconds after birth. And then when he goes there, they never actually tell him. He just shows up, and they have this toddler running around, and she's like, this is our baby.
Yes.
And he just looks at her, and he's just like,
fuck. Yeah, I don't
this
remember.
Is weird.
What
I'm a grandfather.
What explanation do they give him? Do they say that she has some disease or something that makes her grow really fast? They have to say something. They have to say something.
I think they're waiting for him to figure it out, and then he just goes, you know what? I don't want to know. In traditional Charlie fashion.
Yeah. Could you imagine that happening in real life?
He's just like, whatever, it's fine.
Right. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. During COVID, I rewatched all of the movies in a day-long marathon. It might have been a day and a half. I highly recommend making the time for doing that, because when you watch all of the movies back to back, I immediately muscle memory. I remember how emotionally attached I was to all of these characters. Watching Carlisle's head get ripped off, I don't know that I can think of another movie-going experience. Maybe watching Game of Thrones. There was some of those moments where your favorite character dies, and that's horrifying. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever had a movie-going experience where I felt so deeply attached to a character and then had to watch them die. I was like, that was horrible, horrible, horrible. So watching that whole thing all over again I was like, wow, I was so emotionally invested in this whole series. I distinctly remember like going on YouTube, and this was like sort of in the infancy of beauty YouTube still. I remember going on YouTube and like looking up like Bella Swan hair, Bella Swan makeup, like Bella Swan outfits. Like I was invested. I was like, I wanted it to be so real and part of my everyday life so much because I just loved it. I loved
I looked up
it.
Edward Cullen car, and that's why I drive a Volvo now.
Really?
Not really.
Oh.
But, I mean, I drive a Volvo now, but that's not why.
Yeah, I would like to know.
And also,
They must have gotten a sponsorship for that.
With Volvo, yeah, I think they like, because my husband actually like knows about cars and shit, and he said that was like the first year that specific car came out, and that's why they wanted Edward Cullen to drive it.
Got it.
But I just looked it up, and she never tells Charlie that she's a vampire.
Wow.
She just is kept away from him for a while, and then they say that they adopted her, Renesmee, because they waited for her to kind of level out on her age.
Yeah, remember she's like a savant on the piano. Like she can play piano like amazing. And
did she drink blood? I mean, like was she like hunting animals, or was it like was she just eating regular stuff? Because I think she's like human, but with vampire powers.
She's half and half. I don't think she hunts. I don't think
she could also. I think she can communicate through touch as well.
Yeah,
because I think that was the thing with the Volturi that like she wanted to like she had to go like hold their hand so that they could see what happened.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Again, spell was broken for me, and then Breaking Dawn Part 2
brought it back a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit.
I missed that period of time. Like that period of time was just awesome. Like we rarely have a moment now where everyone is so united over like a series or a movie or whatever. Like I think we saw it with Lord of the Rings. I think we saw it with Harry Potter for sure. We saw it with Twilight, and like I don't know, like have we had other versions of that? We must have. I don't want to say like
Hunger Games, but
but it wasn't.
That was like I think Hunger Games was popular, but I don't think it was never nearly as popular as Twilight.
Yeah,
because Hunger Games is the same producers of Twilight, but like I think they bought the rights instantly knowing, ooh, this is going to be the next big thing. And they kind of manufactured it and turned it into that.
Yeah.
I think it was popular, but when the movies came out, it became more popular.
Yeah. And I bet if you looked up like how much money Hunger Games made, I'm sure it's more maybe than Twilight, but it doesn't even matter because it's not about like which did better in the box office. It's like, I cannot describe to a person who was not there how all encompassing the Twilight experience was to be a young person.
Everywhere.
It was
like
people had like
nonstop.
Team Jacob, Team Edward, bracelets, necklaces, notebooks, t-shirts, bags, like everything. And it was like that was like a conversation that people were having. Even when I was in high school, they'd be like, are you Team Edward or are you Team Jacob? Like this was like such a, and also picking teams for characters was, I don't know of any other series that did it like that until later. Like, so then after Twilight came out, then there became this like ongoing release of vampire related media. So it was like Vampire Diaries and True Blood, I think were the big ones. And that was like, were you watching True Blood? Were you telling me about this?
I love True Blood. And True Blood was another one where I loved it. And then all of a sudden something happened and I was like, well, spell's broken. This is shit.
I've never watched True Blood. Someone was just telling me to watch it.
I think I would say, listen, I tried to rewatch it recently. It does not hold up.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of, I think you can tell the writer's room was trying to be diverse, but I don't think that the writer's room was diverse.
Okay.
So it's the way that they write, especially Black characters, feels kind of caricature-ish. Like where they were like trying to be like, oh, we're going to show you this Black character, but we're going to make her like really like you can really connect with her, even though she's a stereotype. And it's just,
yikes.
It's a little but that one, I would say like if you wanted to watch it, knowing that it's like still a product of its time, the first 4 seasons, great.
Yeah.
Fun.
Okay. Well,
they're trashy fun. And then the 5th season, they try to like make it I don't know, like they try to make it seem like there's way more to it than it is, and then they change a lot of the rules, and all of a sudden it all just goes
Weird.
downhill.
Did you watch?
I think it's like 7 seasons long.
Did you watch Vampire Diaries?
That was one that I have not, and I've been thinking about watching it.
Okay.
It's on my list.
I didn't watch it until actually I was filming The Circle, and I was in my quarantine room, and I was in that room for like weeks at a time, and we weren't really allowed to leave the apartment. And so I was like, I need to watch something. I need to start something. And it was like
Did they just give you all your own Netflix accounts to just kind of
Yes, they gave us Netflix accounts.
That's the cool.
So and I had literally nothing I could do. Like there was nothing to do. I had books, and so I would read and I would watch stuff. And so I had a chaperone, and she really loved Vampire Diaries, and she was like, it's crazy that you love Twilight and you have not watched this. And so we started it together, and we were both it was really fun. And I'm so glad I watched it in that circumstance, because I for so long I was like, this looks so fucking stupid. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's like hot and sexy and entertaining and stupid in the ways you want it to be. But the actual the backstory is pretty there's a lot of like depth in the backstory. Like they build it out as the story keeps going. The history of everything goes further and further and further back and gets like bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's really interesting. So I highly recommend Vampire Diaries.
And they have 2 spin-offs, right? Is Legacy than the originals? Are they both part of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't watched the spin-offs, but I rewatch Vampire Diaries like regularly. I love it. It's so good. I met Ian Somerhalder this past summer, and I have a picture with him, and I want to frame it forever, but I heard that he's like Trumpy, so like whatever. I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
I know. And there was something with Paul Wesley too that he said or did something that was like a little questionable very recently, which broke my heart. But also Paul Wesley has this habit of dating girls who are like in their 20s, and he's 40. So something is a little nefarious there. I don't like what's going on there. But regardless, when I watched the Vampire Diaries for the first time, I was feral, clawing at my enclosure. I loved those boys so much. And like now, obviously, they're much older. So, and they have like wives, and well, Ian has a wife and children, whatever. But you got to watch it. Highly recommend.
I feel like anything that has, I think that's the testament of like a good romance. It's when somebody, if somebody's reading something and they connect with it that way, where it like makes them feral.
Oh my God.
That I think like definitely that is what everybody should be aiming for. And I don't even think it's something that you can create. I think it's something that is kind of natural. It's like, it has to be the right thing at the right moment, because I don't know if kids read Twilight now.
So
like,
I actually have a question about that. I'm curious what you think, because Twilight and Vampire Diaries have two men fighting for one woman, and the storylines are like kind of icky and weird. Like we know the Twilight ones, the way that they're icky and weird. In Vampire Diaries, they're brothers. And they both had like sexual relationships with this woman. And so like I'm wondering if part of the reason why we don't have a story of that caliber of like, I'm climbing the fucking walls, like I can't, overwhelming, is because we need the toxicity.
Yeah, maybe it's like that taboo nature of it
part
that
of the
everybody
formula.
subconsciously knows is not okay, because this man is 100 and some odd years old and you're a 16-year-old girl.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean, that was like with Buffy, but Buffy did it realistically, where they realize they cannot be together because they are vampire and she is a vampire slayer.
Right.
I mean, we'll see what happens with the reboot to see if they gave Angel his humanity like they were originally supposed to in the show, but who knows?
Who knows? When is the reboot supposed to come out?
It's right now. It's not picked up. They just filmed the pilot, and I think they're editing it now.
I have never watched all of Buffy the Vampire Slayer all the way through, so I think this year I will forego my Vampire Diaries rewatch for the fall, and I'm going to rewatch Buffy from the start.
If you find yourself getting bogged down with the episodes, because it's hard to binge, it's hard to rewatch old TV because it's 22 episode seasons. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's much easier doing it now, and it's like 8 to 10 episodes. It's like, cool, that's easy. But if you feel yourself getting bogged down, I do have a spreadsheet of all of the episodes that you have to watch, the episodes you should watch, and the episodes that you can skip.
Send it to me, please. Okay. That's amazing. Where did you make that?
I made a spread. I did because I always talk about Buffy to like my friends, and they're like, "Oh, I've never watched it. I want to watch it." And I know like the first season, you could watch 3 episodes and be done if you don't want to watch the standalone stuff.
That's crazy.
The second episode or the second season, there are very specific episodes you have to watch to really get the emotional arc. And I do a Buffy rewatch probably every year. And when I was making this spreadsheet, I was in the middle of a rewatch. And the second season of Buffy it has such a great overall season arc. It is probably one of the best on television. And dropping the Monster of the Week episodes that are kind of in between those important episodes that you have to hit made the story better for me, which I had never noticed before.
Interesting.
So, I would definitely, I think if you're going to watch it, I would try to watch it just for the story arc episodes and then the ones that I highlight as must see regardless. Because there's a number of Monster of the Week episodes that are must see episodes. But I think it just makes the whole story arc better.
Interesting.
Okay. It makes it stand out a little bit
Please
better.
send me that. I also, Vampire Diaries is a similar thing where there's like 7 or 8 seasons and the episodes are 45 minutes long and there's like 22 episodes. I can go through and I can make you a spreadsheet, but honestly, I loved every episode of that show. There's some that are definitely like, it's whatever, like you can skip them, but most of like, I've rewatched the whole series happily, beginning to end. The very last season gets a little bit like, I think I sort of like skipped through the very last season because I think that at some point, Nina Dobrev found out that she was getting paid less than Ian and Paul, and Nina Dobrev plays a minimum of 2 characters the entire series. And she was getting paid less than them. So she just bounced from the show. So they had to figure out a way to end the series without her. And she's the main character of the show. So that put a really terrible twist to the way that it ended. And it like the way it ended sucks, but the rest of the series is worth it. The rest of the series is worth it, in my opinion.
I feel like I'm getting bogged down, then I'll let you know it's time for you to make a spreadsheet.
Yes, it's time to make a spreadsheet. That's really funny. Anyway, okay. I loved this, like made my whole day. Like this, like my day was like,
I can't believe we talked about Twilight for over an hour.
I could keep going. I could keep going. There's so much to unpack.
Part 2 is coming in 20 more years.
Yeah, exactly. Catch us in the 40-year reunion 20 years from now. It'll be, you know what? I hope we make it that long. I hope that not just this podcast, I hope as a society we make it that long.
Yeah, mainly that.
Little touch and go right now. But should we talk about what we're reading? I'm still reading the same thing. I'm still reading your book.
I'm still reading the same thing too.
I'm reading your book. And okay, I just got to the part where I already knew what the twist was going to be because we talked about it, but I just got to the part where like the twist happens and like you find
to the
out.
Reader.
Yeah, exactly. And like when I read it, well, I'm past it now, but when I read it, my heart was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. So like even knowing what,
just wait.
Yeah. Even knowing what the story was, I felt like the dread wash over me and I was like, oh my God.
Because that doesn't happen at the end. There's still a good portion of the book left.
I think I'm like 150 pages in. There's so much left. There's so much story. I'm so excited. So, loving it. So that's what I'm reading. And what are you reading, Erik? I forgot.
I'm reading the book of short stories by all the horror authors that wrote about The World of the Stand by Stephen King.
Yes. Okay, cool. Well, thank you all for listening to YA OK. This has been a 20-year anniversary special for an iconic series of books. And I loved it so much. I loved this conversation. I feel very inspired to rewatch all of them. I would want to reread, but I don't know. The last time I tried, it didn't go so well.
I would say if you want to reread it, I would just say start with Breaking Dawn and see if you can get through it
No.
because
I don't think I can. That sounds miserable. That sounds miserable. Maybe I'll do like an audiobook and listen to the audiobooks.
oh my god, the audiobook's probably insane.
Right? Maybe that's
Oh.
what I'll do. That sounds like a good plan. Well, happy fall. This is sort of, I feel like this is like a kickoff to fall. Go get a pumpkin spice latte, cozy up with Twilight. I hope that there's a rainy, cozy day coming our way soon. And follow us on Instagram at YLK Podcast. And we
Yeah, and if I misinterpreted anything from Breaking Dawn and you want to correct me, please DM us. Let us know. You're wrong, but let us know anyway.
Yes, but let us know anyway.
We won't shame you publicly on air.
No, in the DMs though, maybe.
In the DMs, maybe, yeah.
All right, we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.